6 o'clock. I'm going to bring the December 13th meeting of the Peru Planning Commission to order. Roll call.
Sandy Faust.
Here.
Phyllis Torrance.
Here.
Rick Day. Not here. Carrie Young.
Here.
Vincent Edmonds.
Here.
Joseph Molinex.
Here.
Bill Gorto.
Here.
Scott Wilson.
Here.
James Comerford.
Here.
Okay. First order of business before we get started. I think most of you know the new members of our board, but we have 3 new members, Scott Wilson, Bill Gorto, and James Comerford. Glad to have you all on our board so we can finally have a full board. Do I have a motion to dispense with reading of the minutes from last month?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay. Old business, beekeeping within city limits. I have handed out packets. I think Sandy has additional information to hand out to everyone. We have a couple new members.
Since we do have new members, and this has been an ongoing discussion, and there has been a lot of research done, I feel like it would be unfair to put anything to a vote tonight with them not having a chance to look over everything. So we have passed out pamphlets to them, all of our research, and we will discuss this after they've had a chance to go over it. We'll bring it up again next month.
You'd have to make a motion, or have someone make a motion.
I'm sorry?
Make a motion, or have.
I'll make a motion that we table the discussion on the beekeeping within the city until next month.
Is there a second? No. I guess that means we have to discuss it tonight.
Yes.
Wait, Bill just said he'll second it.
I'm sorry?
I second it.
Oh,
Bill second.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, new business. There's a request for an alley vacation at 321 West 2nd Street. I actually received an email from Phil Van Balen. He's the owner of the property to the west of that alley. It was from the adjacent property letters I sent out because his name was nowhere in the file when it was started. He sent me an email that said, "Hi Stephanie, I will not be able to attend the hearing for the alley closing on December 13th. So I wanted to let you know my opinion." And then he has the file number on the 321 West 2nd Alley closing. This is in regards to the closing of the alley that runs north and south between Canal and 2nd Street. I own the property to the west of this alley. I do not want the alley closed. It is of great importance that we have access to the 2nd Street from Canal via this alley. I am currently trying to sell this property that borders the alley, and closing it will greatly reduce my chances of marketing it. Please feel free to contact him. I emailed him back and asked if he would be able to come to the next meeting on January 10th if the board wanted him to. And he said yes, he would put it on his calendar if need be.
Okay. So, do I have a motion to either bring this to the board tonight or put it on hold till next month?
Is there anybody else here that, on this alley closing?
It would be the people that requested the alley closing would be the Waltons to the east of the alley.
And
I don't know where they are.
There's nobody here tonight representing?
They're not even here?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I make a motion, we bring it to discussion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Now, you got one person who wasn't able to be here who requested that it not get closed because he owns property around there and he'd like to sell it. And then you got one person who wants it closed, but I don't have a reason as to why they want it closed. Do you have a reason?
There's a restriction from the utilities for no building on the site. They agreed with this. Something that I had heard, because I came in after this was already started, halfway through it, was the traffic flying through there from the park there, Miami Sport, up to get around to 2nd Street. So they didn't want the traffic right by their house.
Well, there you go.
Did you have something to say?
Well, not directly related to that, but I know that I've had some alleys vacated before, and you still cannot close them off because they still have to maintain, the utilities has to be able to maintain, to be able to service everything down the alley. So like my office down on Main Street, we vacated the alley next to it, and I wanted to actually add on to my building, and I was unable to do that because it would impede on traffic for the utility company to be able to get through.
Yes.
So even closing it still wouldn't stop the
Still can't
traffic?
stop people from going through unless they
That's-
blocked it off with a chain or something, and, when I asked to be able to build onto my,
Right.
Right, that's if there's a restriction for no building on the site, is what John was talking about.
But they
Which
still
they
wouldn't-
do have that restriction here.
And they
Right.
still wouldn't let you block the alley off because the utility still has to be able to service.
Right.
Right.
Because there are utilities on that one. Now, there are alleys where building is approved on the site, and
Right.
we can completely
But this
do away with it.
particular one
Yes.
is not,
Right.
so.
This has been an alley ever since I was a little girl. I was raised down that neck of the woods. The guy built a new garage there. Used to belonged to that house right there on the corner of Canal. And used to be an old garage there with an outside, had to go to the bathroom there in the garage. And the people across the alley, probably the one to 321, we used to play basketball there all the time. That's a narrow alley to begin with. People had like it for the garbage trucks and everything like that. And it's narrow the way it is, and used to have a lot of usage on account there used to be Hush's greenhouse all down through there.
Phyllis, do you have any comments about the closing of that alley?
I don't see any point in closing it at all.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any discussion on it?
I can see where the individual, if he's got a traffic problem going through there, might have kids, pets, whatever, and it's not a thoroughfare. Shouldn't be used for that.
Right.
So if he wants to close it, I understand that he couldn't put a permanent barrier up, but as long as the utility companies could get through there, and people aren't going to get out of their cars to move a barrier just to drive through there.
Yeah, but the utility company, I don't think should have to get out to move the barrier to drive through there either. I mean, I understand what you're saying. That makes sense. I thought, well, what if you put a fence up? Well, now you're making the utility guy, who's already out there at 2 o'clock in the morning to fix a power outage, having to get out and move the barrier, open the gate, do whatever it is, just so he can drive down there to get your power back on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I appreciate what you're saying. That's
The question would be, how much traffic is actually going through there versus how many times the utility company would have to go through there? And not having the individual that requesting closing to give us some of that information, make it an awful hard decision.
Exactly.
Do we know why the Waltons want it closed in the first place?
Yeah, traffic. They said the traffic.
Traffic was the only thing I heard, but I came in halfway through this one. I sent out the file was already here. I sent out the adjacent property letters and wrote up the legal ad for it. The man who requested this had already spoken with Tennessee. I do have in here, I did write something. They have came to the planning commission back in, and don't quote me on the date, it was back in the 1980s at some point, wanting this alley closed as well. It was denied at that point in time.
Was that-
So that's what I came across when looking up
Okay.
things to do with this address.
And I understand Mr. Van Balen does not want it closed because he needs access
For his business on.
for
the
his
side.
business that's right there.
Yes.
Okay, is there any other discussion on this?
He's not actually using the building that he's going to sell at the moment. He's trying to sell the building that's going to be very more marketable if you have an access for it.
Yes.
Very good.
Because that other building does not have an access other than that?
I think that is.
It does have an access, but that is the access point they use for things in the back, like the loading and stuff like that. So,
And then if you close it off, then if somebody's trying to load and unload at that building, it'd be trespassing on somebody's property at some point. So,
If there's no more discussion,
I make a motion, we take it to vote for closing or non-closing of the alley.
okay, is there a
Second that
second?
motion.
hey, Joe. Okay. Scott made the motion, Joe seconded. Roll call?
So are we closing or are we not closing?
This is for closing.
You're voting whether or not
We're-
you want to close it.
I will say in favor of the alley vacation at 321 West 2nd.
Okay, we are voting on
Whether or not you are in favor.
in favor, okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
In favor of vacating the alley at 321 West 2nd, Phyllis Torrance.
I vote to open it, keep it open.
So no?
No.
Okay. Rick Day is not here. Carrie Young?
No.
No. Vincent Edmonds?
No?
Joseph Molinex?
Yes.
Bill Gorto?
Oh.
Was that a no?
He said no.
Okay. Scott Wilson?
No.
No. James Comerford?
No.
So that was the vote no to vacate the alley at 321 West 2nd Street.
Okay.
Comments from the public?
Does anybody have any comments? I don't vote.
No, you voted, so there's nothing to discuss,
Oh,
unless you want to tell me to shut up.
that's a good idea.
Right?
Okay, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Bill seconded it.
Bill seconded.
Bill seconded it.
Okay, so 6:14 PM.
That was quick and painless. I like it.
Not like you're in.
Scott, we're only halfway done.
Huh?